basically our Zelda was growing into a woman. That's what the story's about. And we know the emotions of it because we're the parents dealing with it. She knew the emotions as the main character. So we're just filming what we're living through, but then we just cover it in blood, So fun.
But it's also like you don't stop growing once you hit, once you're past puberty, really, or past adolescence, because I consider it a coming of age story for the mother as well. I mean, parents go through their own growth and transformations that are that can be brutal and beautiful, just like growing up as a teen can be. Yeah, we just, like John said, we really love to squeeze these universal truths into like really weird supernatural lenses, and that's the fun of it.
Oh, goody, goody, here it comes.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Oh my God, don't stop now!
With your hosts, Brian, John, and Elaine. Welcome to this very special bonus Halloween episode of the Cinema Psycho Show. And as this is dropping on All Hallows Eve, I wanted to give you all a very special treat. If you've been following us on social media for the past month, you notice we've been a little bit busy. For instance, we were at the Eerie Horror Fest beginning of the month, and because of that, we really haven't had a chance to put out a whole bunch of new content. Now, with that, I mean, we did put out the Monsters episode, which was recorded at the Eerie Horror Fest. But while we were there, we had the chance of meeting a number of celebrity guests that gave us some truly amazing interviews. And because it's Halloween and because of the fact that, it's one of my favorite holidays of the year, I wanted to give you all one of these celebrity episodes. So, this one that I'm dropping today is probably, I'd say, one of my absolute favorites. And it was one that I was looking forward to when I went to the Eerie Horror Fest, because for me, at least, it felt like these filmmakers that I got to interview were almost like looking into a mirror, looking at people who I could see a lot of myself. I know John kind of probably felt the same way, that these people, and we're talking about John Adams and Tobey Poser, who are all the Adams family, that they had reached a level that felt, at least for me as a filmmaker, attainable. And to see the success that they've gotten by staying true to their roots and really building stories around the circumstances that their own families have gone through into these terrifying tales is what I found most interesting when talking with them. So if you've never heard of John Adams and Tobey Poser, they're the husband and wife team, along with their children, who have shaken up indie horror with their terrifying film Hellbender, which as of right now holds a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is insane. Most horror films, unfortunately, we never get that sort of love. So to see that Hellbender has that is great. If you want to watch Hellbender, it's on Shudder. Take a watch. It's a good movie, especially for this time of the year. So without further ado, here is our interview with John Adams and Tobey Poser.
All right, we are back. This is the Cinema Psycho Shows, and we are back with another live interview. This time, we are joined with the Adams family. Right? Hey. The Adams family. Hey, we've got John Adams and Tobey Poser. Yeah. Am I pronouncing that right?
You got it.
Okay, cool. Because I have a bad last name too. And
no, she's a Poser.
Coddington always gets fucked with.
So Wollscroft always beats Coddington.
You do. It's true. It's damn English names. But they're not this the Adams family you might be thinking of, like the creepy like Mortician. But we got like legit filmmakers, a family of filmmakers, which is incredibly unique. And I know, like, when I first saw that you all were going to be here, I'm like, wait a minute, their whole family is involved in the filmmaking process, from your kids to, yourself. And even I saw your dad was in Hellbender.
Yes, he was. Yeah. He was great.
Yeah, but welcome. Glad to have you here. First off the bat, how have you enjoyed your time in Erie so far?
Oh man, you know what? Eerians, is that how you might say it? The Erie people.
You know, I grew up here. I don't know.
You're just Erie.
Eerieites.
I'm a Pittsburgh person, so I don't know either.
I'm East Pennsylvania, Lancaster.
Okay.
Pennsylvania. But the Eerians are super, super, super nice. So it's been really cool. And what a beautiful space to do this.
Yeah.
We agree. No, seriously, great looking city. I love downtown. It's my kind of thing. Like I love kind of beat up brick and stuff like that, even though they're starting to fix it up, it looks like, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, great town, super nice people, like Toby said.
Yeah. And so, right off the bat, one thing that really caught me about this movie is, I mean, aside from how good it was, the production value, you know, the great storytelling is, what is it like working with one's family, you know? And and obviously you guys shot a lot of this during the pandemic, correct? Like where it was kind of almost facilitated it, you know, shooting 1-2 person crew kind of thing. So
yeah, I mean the pandemic was a shit show for the world and everybody, but with our little kind of combat unit style filmmaking, it was kind of perfect. It was like a perfect storm because we had a bigger script. We were going to shoot in our town. We were going to use a school. We were going to have a bunch of characters. COVID hits. All that shit's canceled. Yeah. So number one, we just saved lots of money. And number two,
that's the mind of a filmmaker right there. I just saved a ton of money.
And we just got to shoot the way we were used to shooting. So we got into an RV. We had already shot about half the movie when life got canceled. Yeah. And we got into a trailer and we went around the country and we finished shooting the rest of it. And what was amazing was the country was closed, so nobody was in the national parks, the state parks, the highways, the towns. We had all this stuff just to ourselves. So it was kind of amazing, and we took advantage of it, and we just really loved hanging out with Zelda because now she's in college, so we had one more year of the three of us doing fun art together, don't you think?
Yeah, and we got to work with our older girl, Lulu, as well. She plays the blonde neighbor, Amber, because she was in the Pacific Northwest. So we got to, we shoot with her. In fact, she almost got swept away. We did that monumental scene, I won't spoil, on a banquet table in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and this, sneaker wave came in. We all ran for it with the camera, and she just went floop. It's a good thing she surfs, but
she's tough and she surfs. Yeah,
and it was fucking cold.
I hope you're okay.
It's also really convenient shooting with your family because you can have a mouthful of spaghetti, throwing idea spaghetti on the wall simultaneously, and then in a half hour later, if you want, you can be shooting it.
Yeah. Awesome. And obviously, this is a story about witchcraft, but I felt it was more kind of like a story of family, but also coming of age. In kind of like a more macabre sense. Is that a fair statement? What you guys looking for?
100%.
Yeah.
We love to take what's going on in our life. All of us have input into the stories that we tell in film. So we all are grabbing the real things of our life and we're throwing them into these movies. The Deeper You Dig, had things from our real lives. We use our parents. So basically our Zelda was growing into a woman. That's what the story's about. And we know the emotions of it because we're the parents dealing with it. She knew the emotions as the main character. So we're just filming what we're living through, but then we just cover it in blood, It's so fun.
But it's also like you don't stop growing once you hit, once you're past puberty, really, or past adolescence, because I consider it a coming of age story for the mother as well. I mean, parents go through their own growth and transformations that are that can be brutal and beautiful, just like growing up as a teen can be. Yeah, we just, like John said, we really love to squeeze these universal truths into really weird supernatural lenses, and that's the fun of it.
Yeah. I know for me, I loved the mythos created of the Hellbender. I mean, it's very easy, I think, for filmmakers to say, I'm just going to do a witch movie. I'm just going to do a zombie movie. I'm just going to do a vampire movie. And don't get me wrong, I love all of those. But the fact that you all created this new type of creature that has a bit of the demon, a bit of the witch, a bit of even succubus, if you will, a little bit. The fact you created this new character that had its own mythos is really impressive. I know I was really blown away by it, and then the effects themselves of showing what the hell, because we don't really see what the Hellbender is until the exact end. Like when your character does something, I don't want to give away. That's really the moment when you actually see what these things are, and you see what the fear, what the danger is.
Oh, thanks, Brian. Yeah, we have so much fun with the mythology in all of our horror films, and we have a fun one in the new one we're working on now too. That is just because what you do is you get into like an 8-year-old's brain and think like, what would like an 8-year-old think of something terrifying? Then that helped infer how our spells would be, and that was my favorite part of the movie.
Another thing that was fun was trying to figure out, well, where do they grab their power from?
Yeah.
Where's the source of power? Like, we talked about that a lot. Why are they magic? And where do they drain that power from? And so we had a lot of ideas. We started out with them eating babies. So we went to Walmart, right? And we bought a shitload of babies. and actually, I got to say, for all filmmakers,
those aren't for sale, sir.
They don't just have the babies.
That was a
They're
problem.
not in the baby aisle. Like even though there's baby stuff in the baby aisle, they don't actually sell children.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. So
Not
once we
that I've
got over
looked.
that hump of like, oh, you can't do that without a permit, even with a permit. We got all these like great looking babies. Walmart really does make great looking real babies. They're terrifying. And we filmed Zelda eating one, and it looks so stupid.
Oh my
we were
God,
like,
it was so
oh
bad.
Jesus, this movie's
Well, if
already
you rig it up
terrible.
with some like broads and you could wiggle the arms around,
We did that.
We tried.
We did it.
Oh,
We
okay.
did it all. We did it, and it looked so dumb. We were like, okay, they're not gonna pull their power from babies.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull it from somewhere else. And then we realized after a lot of talking that why did people fear witches in the past? Well, it was because of their power, their intelligence. And they wanted to break the rules, and they feared that intellectualism. So we just realized, that's the most powerful witches were the ones that were feared because of their intelligence. We figured that's where we're going to get their power, from their fear. We just switched it around, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Am I talking to my butt?
No,
Okay,
not at all.
cool.
No,
Good.
no.
Yeah, and
I
then,
mean, we're filmmakers too, so like we're also experts at talking out of
Good,
our butt. But
great,
I do not get that vibe at all from this.
good, because it was important to us, and it's fun. That's what, since it's fun to come up with answers.
Yeah.
So like you started this out, it's not just an empty thing. Like they're magic.
Yeah.
and it's interesting. Very early in the movie, Zelda eats the worm, and that's the first introduction of blood, which is a triggering thing, and I'll just kind of leave it there. But it reminds me, I immediately thought when I was a little kid, I was like maybe 6, 7, 8, and my parents were having a Christmas party, and I came in at the very end of it, and I think I drank just like a little bit of liquor, because like there was nobody around the bar.
Just a little bit of liquor.
But I mean, like I was like,
Just a little
I didn't know
bit.
what to do as a little kid. I'm like, I feel funny, So it's like obviously the worm was kind of like that, Oh wait, what's happening? Something like so small, but it's like that's the first introduction to,
It's a wink.
breaking out of the
It's a wink to getting high. It's a
Yeah.
wink to getting drunk. It's a wink to all that.
And
It's-
initiation too. A lot of kids have their initiation into alcohol or drugs. So we got to kill two birds with one stone there. She's not only initiated into being an adolescent, but she's also initiated into being a fucking apex predator.
Well, and speaking, to go back just a little bit to like the production end of things, you look at a movie like Saw, they purposely thought, well, we don't have that much money or that much crew, that much time, so we'll just do a story that takes all place in one. But when you guys were writing this and coming up with this, how much was a consideration for budget, crew, and time as compared to just like, did you have some crazy ideas? You're like, we just don't have the time or money for this, or was it all like, we can shoot this in our house, in our town, a lot of that stuff? Like, what goes into that consideration?
That's such a great question, because that's just goes right to the core of us as a family of filmmakers. We always dream big, and then as that moment comes when you're going to shoot, you shave down to the bone.
Right. Because you have to.
Because you have to, because
to.
it's got to get done. And ultimately, I think we really believe that actually that's where the best movie is anyway. You take off the kind of fat and you're down to the bone, and that's where the good stuff is. That's what we believe. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're just very much about what do we have as opposed to bemoaning what we don't have. And I think it really helps us really focus. That kind of myopic, philosophy helps us really focus on the story at large. And then we're not stuck like bitching about like, oh, we wish we had blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh no, we have plenty. And let's make use of it. And the more you use little, the bigger the little feels. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with how you make films?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
I would say that the one thing that I noticed was the fact that the film itself, without giving everything away, because I want people to watch it, it's a slow burn, but it keeps pace and it gives you just enough to keep you going. Like and then it crescendos right towards the end.
Awesome. That was our hope.
That is great. And one thing too, because we don't have lights. And I mean, Mother Nature is our lighting director, and she does a lot of the heavy lifting for us. And because we travel so lightly, we do have the luxury of getting to shoot shit that big studio productions often can't, or they have to fabricate and make. Like, for instance, the scene when there's a scene with a deer carcass in Hellbender, we were just hiking to scout another shot, and we saw that, and we were like, oh my God, let's hoof it home. Within 30 minutes, we were back in our proper wardrobe, and we built a really crucial scene.
Oh, yeah, of course.
A scene about that, that had everything to do with nature versus nurture and the brutality of nature. And there it was. We were lucky. And so we've been able to benefit from that a lot as a tight little crew. Yeah.
I do have to hand it to you guys because I didn't know that there weren't many lights on set. Because for somebody who does teach cinematography, like I could have sworn that you guys did have lights on set. I know sometimes it was like using nature.
Construction light at most.
Its finest, yeah.
We use, for Hellbender, our rule is definitely just use natural light every single time you can. Obviously, some of the movie was shot in a cave. So we used actually the lamp that they hold. That was the lighting source.
Lantern,
you pointed that out. Pointed that out. We were on the drive up, and we were talking about the film, and he pointed out, it's like,
holding a lantern right to your face.
Exactly. And so it did take a second for these guys to kind of feel, they'd be like, Dad, it looks stupid. Like, and I'm like, don't worry, it doesn't look stupid.
Like,
just hold it to your face.
Yeah.
What looks stupid is a black screen.
That's right.
But the other thing that we have for some of our visions is, like Toby said, we have one construction light, with the metal bowl.
Yeah.
And we love, the cover of Queen's first or second album, Queen the band?
Yeah.
Shot from above.
Yeah.
We love that lighting and a construction.
That's Godfather lighting too.
Yes,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, except Godfather lighting's a little softer. The thing about this is it's pretty harsh.
Yeah,
and so it basically makes your face a lot of time look like a skull.
Yeah,
and so we really like that. So those are the two times that we break the rules.
Awesome. You're basically just taking Paramount lighting and throwing it out the door straight up instead of like something a little more pleasant. What else is? I know that you're possibly have something in the bag literally here.
Yeah.
What's on the horizon for
the bag
you guys
that has
moving
like
forward?
A chain attached to him
and a padlock.
It's not the nuclear football. He did not go to Mar-a-Lago.
He didn't go to Mar-a-Lago.
but yeah, what's on the horizon for you guys?
We've got a film called Where the Devil Roams that we are so excited about. Ooh. We call it a cross between Frankenstein, Bonnie and Clyde, and The Grapes of Wrath.
Wow.
Ooh. I like it.
That's awesome.
This is a movie we chased. You guys know sometimes you make a movie and sometimes you just follow one. Yeah. And this is the one that we've just followed. It's unfolded in front of us. It's been a joy to make. And I'm hustling up, finishing editing it. Toby just did an ADR out in the theater here.
I did. I snuck backstage and I found a really dead room.
So we're just I'm about 90% done editing. We'll be done by November 1st. And we're really excited because this isn't a slow burn. There's some brutal shit that happens right away.
It's a slow cut.
It's
into people.
There's some great cutting of people.
Awesome.
But it's also, what's fun about this one is brutal, but it's got some love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will say for anybody that is nervous about slow burns because maybe you don't have a great attention span. Hellbender opens up. They say your first scene should set the tone for your movie, and woo!
Oh man,
let's hang a witch. Let's start shooting
I was
some
watching
guns.
it. And I'm just like,
So,
okay, it kicked up a notch.
Yeah, it's not that slow, but
Granny can fly.
But yeah, you guys, you know, your film will be shown here at the Eerie Horror Fest, which everybody, if you can make it out, you should. It's new and improved Eerie Horror Fest.
8 p.m. I think tonight
And this theater?
See.
in this theater.
Oh my God, we've never played in a theater this beautiful, and hardly anybody
I said the
has.
same thing. I walked in here. I was just like, this has got to be one of the most beautiful theaters I've ever seen.
It's stunning. So we're just
And we are giving the keynote speech too. And I'm going to say it all like this because you have to sound very intelligent when you're giving a keynote.
Yes, you have to be like, yes. the
Wave
film
like
Twa.
this. Oh, no.
Twa.
And but also, you know, for people that can't make it out here, you can check it out on Shudder. That's where I
That's
saw
where we
it.
watched it,
So
too.
yeah,
That's where we
do
watched
not
it,
miss your chance to see this
No.
because you know the problem is sometimes when you want to promote independent film, sometimes it just doesn't live up to the hype, and maybe it should. Well, anybody that wants to make a film, please do. But this is quality.
It's not a Neil Breen film.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
This
It
isn't-
is not
yeah.
Neil Breen.
It-
It is way, way awesome.
If you got Shudder, go out of your way to see this because you're not going to be disappointed, and you want to be one of the earlier people. Not that this is their first movie or anything, but you want to be the early people that latch on to the Addams Family. You say, "I was there from the beginning." So.
Well, thanks. I got news too. It's now digitally available as well.
Oh,
Even though we love
awesome.
Shudder and recommend watching it there, you can watch it on your usual venues.
Sweet.
Like Amazon Prime and all that good
Yep.
stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you so much.
coming.
great
Thanks, John and
talking
Brian.
with you.
Great
Thank
talking
you
with you
guys
all,
so
too.
much,
Yeah.
and fun questions.
Yeah.
We have to hang out later. This
We'll
is
be
great.
your
Absolutely.
psychos
Yeah.
anytime.
Hellbender, check it out.
Hellbender, check it out.
Thank you again to John Adams and Toby Poser for taking the time to talk with us while we were at the Eerie Horror Fest. And I hope you've all enjoyed the conversation that we had with them. On behalf of John and myself, I do want to wish you all a very happy and safe Halloween. Please stay safe out there when you're trick-or-treating. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Psycho Show. If you do have a question, or you have a movie that you want us to review, or maybe you just are like, hey, I want to talk to Brian and John, be sure to contact us at cinemapsychoshow.com. And be sure to subscribe or follow us wherever you get your podcasts, and we will see you next time.